I'm half serious on this. I don't know which half of me is serious. But, Brett, I have a theory that you know when you're walking on the beach and some kids building a sandcastle, you don't kick it over while he's building it. You wait till he builds it, and then you kick it over. Isn't that a great strategy for ISIS? You say, okay, build your sandcastle. Then we can see the sandcastle from the sky and drop a bomb.
You're the psychopath I was dealing with as a kid on the beach.
Yes, I was.
That guy.
I remember you, Brett.
It was like running away.
Yes.
After you destroyed my sandcastle.
That was me.
Look, the point you have right is our problem isn't so much ISIS. We have a president who is fighting a make-believe war against them. It's essentially for the sake of saying I'm doing something against ISIS, but clearly he's not doing anything against ISIS. I mean, something like we were running more raids over Kosovo in 1999 than we are against a much more minor threat than we have against ISIS, which is like Al-Qaeda on speed, on steroids, on crystal meth, that much worse. And this is the president who told us when he came into office, I'm going to get away from the bad war in Iraq and I'm going to destroy Al-Qaeda. And now he's kind of saying like, well, actually, that's not what I meant at all. And I'm thinking of a strategy and I'm going to have a third round of golf.
I'm actually really impressed with your knowledge of interesting drugs. Now I get a window into what Brett Stevens does on the weekend, Dave, and sounds kind of fun. You are a libertarian, and this is an area where you know, I never really know what a libertarian thinks because they refuse to connect the dots.
Look, I'm a big I was a Ron Paul supporter, a non-interventionist. So I do agree that you can't fight a war in between. Like if you fight a war, we have to have a full declaration of war, go in to destroy the place, no building up an army or any of this stuff and training it. We're not good at that. We're just not. But I don't know. I think in your thought experiment, here's what I would say. You bring all the troops home, close every base, and move Israel to Canada. How does that sound?
I would be for that, but I don't think the Jews in Israel would be happy. Canada.
Let me tell you
what do you do with the Canadians then?
First off, Canada's huge and Israel's tiny. It'll be 20 years before Canada even finds Israel in Canada. And as a Jewish person, our entire history is just getting kicked out of one place and having to start over halfway around the world.
Then you got to deal with French Quebec.
Which is worse than ISIS. Look, the problem with your theory is that it's like
it's crazy.
The Middle East is not Vegas. What happens in the Middle East does not stay there.
That's true.
While you're sort of hanging back and waiting for something to happen and waiting for it all to tell so you can do something, they're going to be in your backyard. They're going to be in the East Village.
Not everything stays.
How did you know that was my backyard?
I have a source.
Yes, I often walk home.
Speaking of analogies, I believe that ISIS is the rash on Obama's back. He's pretending it's not there since he can't see it. And he's hoping it won't spread. But you know, it itches. It itches, and we feel it, and we're going to need some help scratching it.
That's true, because you can't reach it yourself.
You can't take care of it on your own.
And it's not the same with a back scratcher. You don't get that same kind of sensation you get from a real hand.
There's a lot of analogies here. Can you do your threesome one again?
Yes, I will.
No, but I do think that you need to recognize that it's a problem. How you want to approach it depends on your back.
I mean, there's so little we can do. I mean,
look at you.
What have we done over there that's really done any good? We
got rid of Saddam Hussein.
And now everything's better.
That had nothing to do with. No, that had nothing to do with. Shut up, liberal panel. That's not funny.
We can't take. ISIS isn't a country. We can't take out individual.
That's what I'm saying.
Individual little groups without harming civilians.
That's what I'm saying. Islamic State. So they centralize into one area. It's like a roach motel.
I don't know why we need to get so excited about bombing.
And I don't get. And correct me.
You were a comedian.
I don't see any of these threats that have blown up in our face as this result of us not being involved in the Middle East. Whether you want to talk about Al-Qaeda, we were involved in funding and starting them to fight the Soviets.
High five.
That's just not true. Okay.
That's not true?
No, that's completely...
The Mujahideen in Afghanistan?
This is what happens when you're a Ron Paul supporter. You believe things he says.
So our CIA didn't help that, or I'm not CIA, but we didn't give any support for them?
We supported the Mujahideen, elements of which ended up becoming Al-Qaeda many years later.
There's no way to know. That's the whole thing.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Look, Afghanistan, another zone where you can say no good thing happens except it's from Afghanistan. Our presence in Afghanistan, we managed to kill bin Laden. If we had taken action in Afghanistan, hopeless land, endless poverty, before September 11, 2001, you're very young, you probably don't remember that, then we wouldn't have had a hole in Lower Manhattan. So again, you get back to the Vegas problem. Okay, you're not going to get ideal solutions out of the Middle East, but you can get less than catastrophic outcomes, which is what we have now.
Well, I'm not saying that there couldn't have been some intervention that would have done something good. Like, yes, if we had killed Osama bin Laden the day before 9/11, that would have been a great thing.
Well, we should have.
Okay,
we had
I'm not saying that. But to look at the big picture and say the problem in the Middle East is that we haven't been involved. I mean, haven't we been very involved for my entire life?
Well, the problem we've had is that as the Middle East has gone down the toilet in the last 7 years, we've had a president whose abiding philosophy, shared by Ron Paul, is that we shouldn't be
blame
involved.
Obama.
I don't think President Drone Bomber is really living out Ron Paul's philosophy.
All right, he's Obama. He's Ron Paul light.
Not even close.
All right, well, we have to wrap this up because this is starting to sound like an intelligent show. And I'm here to stop that, but I want to ask the liberal panel, you must be really happy with Obama's work with ISIS.
Look, the Middle East is a preview of the post-apocalypse, so I just recommend we all make love, Greg.